fit these in a thumbnail. Right, okay, we'll try with this. Oh my god. Oh no, I'm gonna get makeup on it. There's one really balanced in there. What? Can't put them down. Ah! Hello and welcome to the books I've been buying in February. Yes, I'm wearing the same outfit as the last video. No, this is not my hair. I've been really into cosplay and I think it's fun. Why go grey naturally when you can go grey synthetically? I acquired a lot of books in February, a lot more than I expected to, but I got some absolutely amazing books. The first books that I'm going to be talking about are the ones that I anticipated getting this month the most. Even if I was in my overdraft, I was going to buy these books. And they are Heartstopper by Alice Osman. They are graphic novels, they are LGBT. We need a lot more of that, thank you very much. As you can tell, I got these from the Demon Overlords, that is Waterstones, because they have stickers on them. So I went to Waterstones with the intention of buying them. I didn't think though that I would pick them up signed. They were both the last copies in the store, signed by the author. The author must have just been passing through for an event and decided to sign some of these. So I am honest to God, like, the luckiest girl in the world. Like, that never happens to me. Isn't that the most stunning signature you've ever seen? I mean, can you get any more wholesome than just the blurb on the back, which just says, boy meets boy, boys become friends, boys fall in love. How sweet. Don't think I need to say too much about these. If you're looking for a really cute LGBT comic, this is it. And thank you to the book gods for giving me the chance of getting these signed. Another book which I finally bit the bullet about and got, and I don't know if you have a Waterstones where you live, but every time you go to Waterstones and you spend £10, you get like a point, and once you have 10 of them points you get a free book. So this was the free book that I got with my 10 points from Waterstones. That's £100 spent. Is the Lies of Locke, Lamora by Scott Lynch, and I got this on the recommendation of one of my favourite booktubers, who was Regan at Peruse Project. Isn't she so stunning though? Her channel is great. I mean, if you haven't heard of her, she's one of the best booktubers out there. This book seems to be a little bit like Marmite. It's pretty old. It was written in the early 2000s. People either seem to really love it or really hate it, and Regan herself said that she read it a long time ago, probably when it first came out or whenever, and she didn't like it, but then she reread it as an adult and really liked it. Unfortunately, I am an adult, so I'm going to give it a go and we'll see how I feel about it. George R.R. Martin has a recommendation for it though, so I'm expecting quite a bit. I believe it's set in a fictional fantasy world, but that sort of looks like Venice on the cover. I mean, it's a beautiful cover. Let me see if this focuses. Can you see what I mean? Our main character, Locke Lamora, steals from the rich to give to the poor. Oh, actually no, he doesn't give to the poor, he keeps it for himself. And he's part of a band of thieves called the Gentlemen Bastards. I know, I didn't mean to swear, but I had to. He lives in an underground ancient city, and there's murder afoot. So it sounds pretty good. I'm looking forward to getting around to reading it. Next, I went to my favourite shop of all time, which is Barter Books in Alnwick in Northumberland. It's only about 45 minutes from where I live, so I go pretty often. Sometimes my grandma asks me to go and she's just a dear. But when she goes, she gets like 50 books. I swear to God, that woman just reads a book every day. But it's really good because you can take your old books and they'll give you credit for your old books, and then you can use that credit to get new books in the store. You get about £1 for every book that you take up, and their books are like less than £3, so it's well worth visiting if you're in the northeast area. I swear this is not sponsored, it's just a fantastic bookshop. It's one of the largest secondhand bookshops in the UK, and it's where they found the Keep Calm and Carry On poster. So if you didn't know that, you do now. So anyway, I just went to the YA section and I was just like taking every book off the shelf because they had a great selection in at that point, and I managed to get books 2 and 3 in the Half Bad series. I mentioned in my January wrap up that I read Half Bad and I thought it was really, really good, and I'm pretty lucky that when I went up there I was able to find books 2 and 3 straight away. I mean, like, that was just a sign that I had to read them. If you want to know more about Half Bad, head on over to the books that I read in January, and I do a pretty good summary of the plot there. It's just a YA. It's a little bit of Harry Potter in a way, but it's really good. So yeah, pick these up second hand, but they're in absolutely fantastic condition. Small YA that I'm just going to quickly run over is Umani? Yeah, Umani. I'd never heard of this, but it was in the YA section and it was absolutely brand new. So I thought, you know, I'm just going to give it a go. Especially because the setting is something that I haven't read a book in before. I love to read books set in international settings because I just love to learn and have that setting that isn't familiar. I believe it's a contemporary novel about a 12-year-old girl set in Mexico City coming to terms with the death of her sister. But it has like a really good recommendation on the back which says, reading umami is like travelling through the minds of everyone we know, guided by a soft, reliable voice that tells us stop, listen, observe. I thought that was really, really nice. So I'm going to give it a go. It seems like a quick read. It wasn't... I had a look on Goodreads to see what everyone else thought about it, and there was only like a couple of hundred reviews. So we'll see what comes of it. Another book I'd never heard of, but in absolutely brand new condition, I think the same person must have took these to barter books at the same time, is Fans of the Impossible Life. I love the colours on this cover though. I read the first line of the synopsis and I was just like, me. Myra trying to pretend that she's a fully functioning human rather than a girl that can't get out of bed for days on end, if that is me. We have another character, Jeremy, who's a painfully shy art nerd, and Sebi is a charming gay foster kid. So it seems like a YA contemporary novel about some teenagers that are going through rough parts in their lives. As a teenager, I did have the most unbelievable anxiety, so I don't know, just seems like up my street, like a little homage to my teenage years. Again, pretty short. Looking forward to reading it. Another one, again, absolutely perfect condition, is Love Letters to the Dead. When I first joined Booktube in 2015, this was a really, really popular book, but I think it was mainly because the cover is really stunning. Our main character seems so sweet. She's a teenage girl who starts writing about her problems in letters to people that have died, so celebrities that have passed. So it starts off because her sister May has died and she's died young. So she writes a letter to Kurt Cobain, who also died young, because she thought that he would understand where she's coming from. And then soon she starts pouring out her problems in these letters. Mentions Heath Ledger, Janis Joplin, Amy Winehouse, Amelia Earhart. I don't know, it just seems like a sweet contemporary read. Again, pretty short novel. Looking forward to getting around to reading it because this is one of the first books that I ever thought Booktube might make me buy that, and I never expected that I would find it for £2.20 in a second-hand bookstore. Small YA, spine's not broken, they look absolutely in perfect condition apart from this one which has, the cover's ripped off a little bit here, but you can barely notice it. £2.20. That one recently published as well, so very impressed. I'll start with opposite of always. This sounds like a book that has the potential to make me cry. This is Jack and this is Kate. They meet at a party, they are teenagers, and they fall in love. 6 months later, Kate dies, and Jack is transported back in time through his mourning, and he tries to save Kate. However, there is consequences of trying to change the events that happens, and he has a choice to make. Books where sad things happen to teenagers just absolutely break my heart. I might actually theme one of my reading months of books that I'm expecting to cry at, and this would be top of the list. Again, recently published, Things a Bright Girl Can Do by Sally Nichols. The year is 1914. Our main character is a teenager who is very, very bright and very smart, but because of her gender, she's unable to go to university. Quick history lesson for those that don't understand. It doesn't explicitly say, but I guess from the plot and using my own knowledge, that this is set in the UK. Our main character is torn between the suffragette and the suffragist movement. Suffragettes are known to be quite violent in their pursuit of votes for women, while the suffragists are very anti-violence, keep the peace, and they're trying to use an opposite method to the suffragettes in trying to get votes for women. The First World War is looming on the horizon, and it's about how far will our main character and her group of friends go in the pursuit of rights for women. Personally, I think this book sounds really interesting because we've been born into a time where we have all the rights that women didn't have 100 years ago, and it makes you think, like, what would you have done for the right to be equal to your husband then? I was very fortunate to go to university. What would I have done? Would I have thrown myself in front of a horse to risk death? Would I have gone on hunger strikes in prison to get fellow women the right to vote, or to go to university, or the right to vote differently to their husbands? It's just things that you don't think about because it's so easy to forget. And I'm really, really pleased that this author has thought to make that an experience in a novel. Oh, the sun's gone down a bit. I hope you don't mind the sort of lighting change. So the last two books I got out the YA section of barter books, I swear to God, again, they're in absolutely pristine condition. It's such a good shop. It's Red Rising by Pierce Brown and The Hazelwood by Marissa Albert. The Hazelwood as well comes with these sprayed edges, which I'm absolutely dying for. I don't know how I've managed to find these books pristine in a second-hand store because They're pretty old now and they've been doing the rounds on Booktube for a while. They're pretty popular YA novels. Red Rising is part of a series. Actually, The Hazelwood is also part of the series. The second one's came out recently. And they're both of the fantasy genre. Red Rising sounds epic and I can't describe it any better than how it says on the back, so I'm just going to read that. The Earth is dying. Darrow is a red, a miner in the interior of Mars. His mission is to extract enough precious elements to one day tame the surface of the planet and allow humans to live on it. The Reds are humanity's last hope. Or so it appears until the day Darrow discovers it's all a lie. That Mars has been habitable and inhabited for generations by a class of people calling themselves the Golds, a class of people who look down at Darrow and his fellows as slave labour to be exploited and worked to death without a second thought. Until the day Darrow, with the help of a mysterious group of rebels, disguises himself as a Gold and infiltrates their command school, intended to take down his oppressors from the inside. But the command school is a battlefield, and Darrow isn't the only student with an agenda. Whoa, it sounds really good. I don't know how the author has managed to condense the plot in like 350 pages, but this is a series, so I'm excited to read this. I might actually read this in April. The Hazelwood sounds a little bit like a fairy tale. Our main character, Alice, receives a message saying stay away from the Hazelwood. The Hazelwood is a forest where her grandmother has died and her mother's been stolen. So I'm assuming our main character has to find out, you know, what's going on. I believe there's some magical element to this. It sounds very much like a fairy tale. It actually says on the back that Alice's grandmother raises her with stories of dark fairy tales. So I think it sounds really good. This could be a fairy tale retelling. Is this a fairy tale retelling? Let me know in the comments. All I know is that it's very popular, so I'm looking forward to getting around to reading it. I think we'll take a break from YA for a moment. I'm going to talk about the Fluke series by M.W. Craven. This is a crime series set in the Northwest. These are the debut novels of an author that I spoke about in my favourite books of 2019 video, where I spoke about The Puppet Show. I'll put a picture of the cover here. And how it was one of my favourite crime series of all time, like even better than J.K. Rowling's crime novel under her pseudonym. The main detective character, Washington Poe, is just absolutely fantastic. And I love his sidekick, Tilly. I really want more people to read them because they are absolutely fantastic. I can't stop raving about them. Anyway, I started speaking to the author on Twitter about how much I loved his characters, and he started telling me, you know, I have another series out, and I was like, great, I'll go out and buy them in Waterstones. He very, very kindly sent me these, so I'm very, very grateful. I'm under no obligations to review them. I'm just so thrilled that one of my favourite crime authors acknowledged the fact that I love his writing, I love his books, and I love his characters. So I'm really excited getting around to reading these. If they're anything like The Puppet Show, I'm going to devour these in literally a couple of days because I could not sleep until I finished the end of The Puppet Show and the second book, Black Summer. And they are absolutely stunning covers. Stunning. He is a local author and I'm just so thrilled. I'm going to get around to reading these soon and I can't wait. Okay, moving on. We have Children of Ruin by Adrian Tchaikovsky. That's the first time I've ever said that out loud. I hope I did it right. This is book 2 in the Children of Time series. I've never read Children of Time, so I really don't want to read the back because I'm worried that it is a spoiler. I got this book off Rebecca, who bought it herself and then got one in PR, so she very, very kindly gave me this one. Thank you so much, Rebecca. I swear to God, half the books that I have are off her. I'm really grateful though. I'm so thrilled that you got one in PR. Although I did actually get a signed copy for Christmas, so this was like a third copy. The Children of Time series is an adult science fiction series. It is a space opera. Don't know too much about it, but I can't wait to get around to reading it. I'm really sorry that my descriptions of the books is very, very poor today, but I don't know, I just like going into books and not knowing much about them. Oh my god! Wait. No. So there's a fantasy book that I've been wanting to get for a really long time, The Tiger and the Wolf, and I've just realised that it's the same author. I had no idea. This was another book I got in Barter Books. Again, fantastic condition. This book was £3, absolute bargain. This is an epic fantasy novel. The main character lives in tribes. The tribes have like affinities to like different animals. So hers is the wolf clan, although her mother is the queen of the tiger clan. And she can shift into both tiger and wolf, although the tiger and wolf clans are at war with each other, so I'm assuming our main character has to pick an affinity, I guess, and choose which side that she's on. Although I really hope that she's like not on one side. So I've just read on the back, she can't disown half a soul, so escapes with the killer broken axe in pursuit. This just sounds so different to anything I've ever read before. I'm really, really looking forward to it. I believe this is an adult novel. It's not YA, so the writing is pretty small. It seems like it has a lot of detail in. Of course, fantasy, we have a map. It just sounds so different. It's part of the series called The Echoes of the Fall. It seems pretty popular on Goodreads. I actually only just put this on a list of books that I wanted to buy on the day before I went, so I'm very, very pleased that I was able to pick it up on the next day that I went to Barter Books. It was meant to be. Okay, we're almost done. We've got 3 books left. Another part of my Barter Books haul is Voyage by Stephen Baxter. I'd never heard of this book. It doesn't seem that popular on Goodreads. I picked it up because Stephen Baxter is an author who writes books with Terry Pratchett as part of the Long Earth series. I would show you, but I can't get the book off my shelf. It's actually stuck. Nope, that's not coming out. So we're going to leave that, but Terry Pratchett does have a recommendation here, God rest his soul. It is the first book in the series, What If John F. Kennedy Survived? President Nixon, with the help of former President JFK, has just greenlit NASA's first manned expedition on Mars. Ooh, another book about Mars. Aboard Natalie York, a geologist who risks everything she loves for the chance of going to space. Ooh, we stan a female astronaut. Female Stone, former X-15 test pilot, and Ralph Gershon, a Vietnam War hero, intended on being the first African-American to reach another planet. Yep, this is ticking all the boxes. Exploring mankind's presence in an extraterrestrial expanse, Voyage chronicles the incredible story of what could have been. I swear to God, I am a space freak. Ooh, what is this? I've just been flicking through and I just found these on the back. That's interesting. It seems like it's going to be a realistic take on humanity's mission into space. It seems like a serious book. It doesn't seem like a book that's just going to bring aliens at war with humanity into it. It seems more like what would actually happen if we went to Mars. Seems like a bit of an intimidating read. I'm probably not going to get around to it anytime soon. You never know, I might make a month of just reading space-themed books. That's an option. Honestly, since I decided to theme my reading months, all I do all day is that's a great one, that's a great one, and I have a list as long as my arm. I have ideas that would take me to the rest of my life. If you want the chance at influencing what I theme my reading month, if you go to my Instagram and follow me at the end of every month, I put out a story poll, and I'll put a couple of options about how I should theme my reading month, and then I pick the winner as the theme for my month. I just find that it makes reading so much more fun. Did you hear that? I feel too young to be getting these clicks. I should just title this Barter book haul because I swear to God, there's another one. I've never heard of this book. I think I have, it's just I've never seen it in this cover, so I'm finding it hard to associate the cover that I know of with this one. It is Strange the Dreamer by Lani Taylor. I picked this up because it is Lani Taylor and I have read another couple of her books. Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy, yeah. I thought her writing was really, really good in that. It was a second-hand book. It was a couple of quid. I had enough book credit, so I thought I'd pick it up. Lani Taylor generally writes very, very high fantasy books in the YA genre, so I don't want to know too much about this. I'm pretty sure there's a million wrap-ups about what is in this book. But this is just one that I thought, I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to give it a try. Hopefully I get around to reading it soon. I'm so sorry that I haven't gone into much detail about every book, but if I did, I would be here for hours. And the last one that I picked up, because I'm a sucker for sprayed edges, is The Hate You Give. I got this in a charity shop for 25 pence. Literally, I could have found 25 pence and change on the way to the charity shop. 25 pence. I've been wanting to read this book for the longest time because I love reading books that have a very strong political message. This book is set in the Black Lives Matter movement. Our main character is an African-American teenage girl who is a witness to her unarmed best friend being killed by a police officer, and from that she moves into activism. Now, I don't live in America, but I know it's a problem. It just seems like a really important book to read. I'm looking forward to educating myself more on the matter, but again, potentially another book that would make me cry. We made it to the end. Again, I'm sorry that I didn't go into too much detail about each book. My camera's actually been cutting off because it's been overheating during every one of these books. I'm getting 4 minutes of footage and then it's just overheating. It's been a bit disheartening, but I'm really proud of myself for getting there. I am so impressed with the quality of books that I've been able to pick up secondhand for very, very little money. Reading can be a very expensive hobby. I mean, every new book now on Waterstones is £9 or £10. So the fact that secondhand bookshops are still thriving, and you can get very good bargains in charity shops if you look. Shows that reading doesn't just have to be for those that are privileged to have that money. I know it's nice to be able to support authors, but again, it's so important that people have access to books no matter how much money they have. If there's a book that you really want that you can't afford, it might be new out, don't worry about it. Just keep looking and you will find it affordable. Like, here's an example just to give you a little bit of hope. I bought this a couple of weeks after publication, brand new in a secondhand bookstore for £6. That's still expensive, but if I'd got this in Waterstones, it would have been at least double the price. Just because you can't afford new books doesn't mean that you can't have the books that you want. It just might take you a little bit longer to get your hands on them. So they are the books that I bought in February. Oh, before I go, if you haven't seen already, I'm hosting a giveaway where you can get a chance to win a signed Robin Hobb or a signed Sarah J Maas book. You just have to go to 2 videos back to find the information in there about how you can enter. And good luck if you have entered so far. And thank you to all of my new subscribers who love to just enjoy what I enjoy. Reading can be a bit of an antisocial hobby, so I love that I get to come on here and share my thoughts and talk about what I love. I hope everyone has a great week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!